the dollar weakness hasn't been quite as extreme as what was predicted at the start of the year. There were a number of people quoted over the last few years saying that the pound now trades a little bit like an emerging market currency. So effectively what we're looking for now is that next stimulus or that next kicker to give us another leg higher. You could argue that the UK has sort of lagged behind the European Union and the States in terms of the amount of stimulus that's been injected into the economy.
And it does feel like we've just been sitting here just waiting for something to happen.
It's sort of a race between the nations at the moment.
Changing topics slightly, and I want to cover just one more before we go on there, and this is really about government spending as well. The US, Biden, green recovery. Does he do it? Does he get the money in? Does the money get well spent? And does that mean that they kick the can down the road of this just ever burgeoning deficit because they've got some decent headline growth numbers, or does it come back and bite them sooner rather than later?
Well, I mean, it seems since the election that he's had a pretty easy time of it, and potentially that's due to the fact that the Republicans have been quite disorganised, managing to get the stimulus bill through last month without too much fuss and pretty much the full amount that he wanted. So, I mean, you'd have to say that from that perspective that things look relatively hopeful, but I think the key risk this time is that the next round of stimulus, with that included, is huge, and I think it's something to be rolled out over 8 years or something like that. But the way he's planning on paying it is obviously hiking the corporate tax rate back up to 28%, and it would take about 15 years to pay that off. I think he'd be able to get it through with just with Democrat votes alone. But whether or not those tax hikes are something that everyone would vote for or not means that this could be something that maybe takes a little bit longer to get through.
Yeah, and do you cut the spending because you can't get taxes to where you want them, or do you just spend it anyway and then almost make that the next administration's problem? Because he's not running a second term. I think he said that, or definitely he probably shouldn't be running a second term. So is that something that he can say, well, I saved the day, and that's for someone else to worry about?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he's he's happy to spend, and with the backing of Janet Yellen, who seems to have the purse completely open, and also seems to be relatively aligned with the Fed, which is
hope so.
Which is a bit of a change since Trump, where they were obviously everything was a battle basically. So perhaps there's a good chance of getting that through.
I think from my perspective, Yellen is quite reassuring, because she's been there. She's been around government for so long. She's been head of the central bank. That would be seen as someone that really does know what the numbers mean. And if she says it's all right, then I think that's probably a good space. I mean, I still can't work out how you can finance that much of a deficit, but they've got that, I'm sure. We shall see. I wanted to cover a couple of subjects. We've done that. We'll definitely be back for more. Thanks for your time and the contributions, and one of us will be right with something, I'm sure.
Thanks for having me, and great to see the face behind the morning report.
Not everyone will think that, but there we go. It's this.